They were not invaders, but inheritors, until Earth refused to recognize its children. Long before the first cities clawed their way into the stars, humanity fled a dying world, survivors scattering like embers into the void. What they became, eons later, defies every law of nature and mercy. They are the Zynthari, a species forged in the crucible of an alien sun, their veins humming with bioluminescent ancestry, their minds threaded with truths Earth-buried. They returned not as conquerors, but as claimants, wielding the genetic memory of a planet they believed owed them a home. But humanity, rebuilt and hardened, saw only monsters wearing the ghosts of their past. The Zynthari carry a secret in their marrow. The cataclysm that shattered Earth was no accident. Their ancestors did not escape disaster, they authored it. Now armed with living warships and machines that rewrite continents, they demand redemption. But redemption wears two faces. To the Zynthari's austere imperator, it is a reckoning. To Jynara, a dissident strategist with human empathy burning in her alien heart, it is a plea. Yet Earth's defenders, led by a scientist who trusts data more than souls, see no difference between mercy and extinction. When a child's voice bridges the species divide with a hacker's code and a refugee's hope, the line between savior and destroyer blurs. What unfolds is not a war of weapons, but of memory, a collision of guilt and survival, where the victor may inherit only ashes. The Zynthari believe they are evolution's answer. Humanity believes they are its error. Both are wrong. What if home isn't a place you reclaim, but a lie you unravel? Chapter 1. The sky over Zynthari bled violet and gold, its twin moons, Near and Saloon, casting jagged shadows across the bioluminescent forests below. The air hummed with the low-frequency songs of the Zynthari, a species born of ancient human DNA spliced with alien biology. Their cities rose like living spires, their walls pulsating with veins of light, their architecture a fusion of organic cartilage and chrome. At the heart of the capital, Zevran, the Zynthari imperator, stood before the conclave of echoes, his voice a resonant growl that rattled the chamber's crystalline floor. His body, towering and serpentine, shimmered with scales that shifted between obsidian and mercury. "Earth is ours," he declared, slamming a clawed fist into the podium. "Our ancestors fled its ruin, but we are stronger now. We will reclaim what was stolen." Hidden in the back of the chamber, Jynara, late 20s, tactician with empathic abilities, clenched her jaw. Her iridescent skin, a trait of her hybrid lineage, flushed cobalt with unease. Unlike Zevran, whose body had shed nearly all human markers, Jynara retained a humanoid frame, her only alien features being her luminescent eyes and the faint, bioluminescent patterns that flickered across her skin like circuitry. She glanced at her mentor, Kalos, 60s, historian with a skeletal, insectoid exoskeleton, who shook his head subtly. "Patience," he telepathically chided, their shared ability a common Zynthari trait. Later, in her quarters, Jynara stared at a hologram of Earth, a planet she'd only seen in archives. Its blue oceans and green continents felt alien compared to Zynthari's neon wilds. A chime interrupted her thoughts. Zevran summoned her to his war room. The Imperator's lair was a cavernous space filled with floating tactical maps. "You question my strategy," Zevran hissed, his forked tongue flicking. "Speak." Jynara hesitated. "Earth's humans. They've rebuilt. Invading could destroy what's left. What if we negotiate?" Zevran's laughter was a dry rasp. "Negotiate? They are primitives. They will fear us, as they should." He gestured to the hologram, zooming in on Earth's defenses. You will lead the first strike. Prove your loyalty." As Jynara left, Kalos intercepted her in the corridor. "You walk a dangerous path," he warned, his voice a whisper of clicking mandibles. "Zevran sees dissent as treason, but the truth is buried in the vault of whispers, our ancestors' sins. They haunt us still." Chapter 2. Jynara fled to the Ashen Wastes, a desolate region where Zynthari's organic cities gave way to skeletal ruins. Here, the air was silent, the ground littered with fossilized bones of creatures that had died when the Zynthari first terraformed the planet. She activated the data crystal, and holograms flickered to life, fragmented logs from the original human colonists. Day 674. The Earthfall project failed. We thought we could control the climate. Arrogance. The storms. They're eating the cities. Day 901. The aliens found us. They offer symbiosis, survival in exchange for changes. God help us. Jynara's pulse quickened. The Zynthari hadn't fled Earth's natural disaster. They'd caused it. Their ancestors had colluded with an alien species to mutate and survive, dooming Earth in the process. Kalos found her there, his exoskeleton clattering in the wind. "You see now," he said, "Zevran clings to a lie. We are not inheritors, we are fugitives." "Why show me this?" Jynara snapped. "Because you still believe in redemption," Kalos replied. "Zevran's mantra is survival justifies sacrifice, but survival without conscience is a slower death." Their debate was cut short by a roar overhead. Zevran's scouts had tracked them. Jynara barely escaped, but Kalos stayed behind, buying her time. "Find the humans," he urged. "Tell them the truth. A home isn't conquered, it's shared." Chapter 3. Earth 2157. The planet had healed from the Great Collapse, a climate disaster that had nearly eradicated humanity millennia ago. Now, skyscrapers clad in solar glass loomed over rewilded forests, and the United Earth Coalition, UEC, governed from New Geneva, a floating city above the Atlantic. Dr. Soren Valtra, 40s, sharp-tongued xenobiologist, adjusted her lab coat as she reviewed data from the Orion Array, a network of deep space satellites. A junior scientist, Darian, 20s, idealistic, burst into her office. "Dr. Valtra, the array detected unidentified vessels near Mars. They're hibernating, but on a direct trajectory." Soren frowned. "Extraterrestrials? They match no known profiles, and their tech, it's alive, like biomechanical hybrids." Meanwhile, in a cramped apartment in New Geneva, Soren's daughter, Lira, 12, tech prodigy with a prosthetic arm, hacked into the UEC database. Her prosthetic fingers flew across a holographic keyboard. "Mum thinks I don't know about the aliens," she muttered to her robot companion BX9. "But I've seen the files. They're coming." At a clandestine UEC meeting, Soren argued with General Rykar, 50s militaristic, who demanded preemptive strikes. "We don't even know their intentions," Soren protested. "Intentions?" Rykar sneered. "They're in our system. That's an act of war." As tensions mounted, Jynara's shuttle breached Earth's atmosphere, trailing fire. She crash-landed in the Siberian tundra, where nomadic tribesmen found her half-conscious. "I need Soren Valtra," she gasped in broken English, her telepathy fraying from pain. Chapter 4. The Zynthari Armada awoke. Near Mars, the warships, sleek organic vessels with pulsating hulls, detached from asteroid-sized chrysalides. Aboard the flagship, Zevran watched Earth through a prismatic viewport, his slit-pupilled eyes narrowing. "Begin the purge," he ordered.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the rest of the story. Link in bio.